Teaching pronunciation to non-native speakers of English. Teacher, Professor Dr. Natalia Yevnitskaya. Course, TOEFL Methods 2. Date, the 14th of December 2023. Student's name, Garrett Black. The article by Burns addresses the challenges English teachers face in teaching speaking skills. Burns introduces a teaching speaking cycle for planning lessons that focus on accuracy, fluency, and student reflection. The article emphasizes the cognitive aspects of speaking, such as conceptual preparation and metacognition. Burns highlights the challenges English language learners face and suggests strategies for teachers to enhance speaking instruction, including addressing pronunciation and promoting metacognitive development. Overall, the article advocates for a holistic approach to teaching speaking, considering cognitive, social, and affective factors. Text-based approach refers to an instructional strategy in language teaching that centers on the use of the authentic texts as a central element in language learning. This approach places a strong emphasis on exposing learners to real, meaningful, and content-rich texts such as articles, stories, and other written materials to develop language skills. Key features of a text-based approach include authenticity. The texts used in this approach are typically authentic and reflect the language as it is naturally used by native speakers. This authenticity helps learners develop a better understanding of how language is employed in real-life situations. Communication skills. Text-based approaches aim to improve various language skills, including reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Learners engage with texts to understand the content, extract information, and express their thoughts orally or in writing. Contextual learning. Learning occurs within a meaningful context provided by the texts. Learners are exposed to the language in context, allowing them to understand not only the surface-level meanings, but also the underlying cultural and pragmatic aspects of communication. Vocabulary and grammar acquisition. Vocabulary and grammar are learned inductively through exposure to the texts. Instead of explicit instruction, learners infer language rules and structures from the context of the text. Task-based activities. Text-based approaches often involve various language tasks and activities related to the texts. These tasks may include discussions, debates, writing assignments, or collaborative projects that require learners to apply language skills in practical situations. Cultural awareness. Authentic texts provide insights into the culture associated with the language being learned. Learners gain cultural awareness and sensitivity by exploring texts that reflect the customs, traditions, and perspectives of native speakers. Critical thinking. Learners are encouraged to think critically about the content of the texts. They may analyze and evaluate information, express opinions, and make connections between the text and their own experiences. Text-based approaches are versatile and can be applied across various proficiency levels and language skills. The goal is to create an immersive and engaging language learning experience that mirrors real-world language use. Spoken and written language are two primary modes of linguistic communication, each with distinct characteristics and features. Here are some key differences between spoken and written language. Number 1. Medium. Spoken language. Communicated through oral meanings, utilizing spoken words, tones, pitch, and nonverbal cues such as gestures and facial expressions. Written language. Communicated through written symbols such as letters, words, and pronunciation on a physical or digital medium. Number 2. Audience. Spoken language often involves immediate interaction with a live audience. Listeners can provide instant feedback, and the speaker may adapt their communication based on audience reactions. Written language typically lacks immediate audience interaction. The writer may not receive feedback until the written text is read by others. Number 3. Structure and formality. Spoken language tends to be less structured, with the use of colloquial expressions, informal vocabulary, and sometimes incomplete sentences. Conversations can be more dynamic and interactive. Written language generally follows more formal structures with complete sentences, organized paragraphs, and attention to grammar and punctuation rules. The TBL, task-based language framework, is an approach to language teaching that centers around the use of meaningful tasks to promote language learning. Here's an overview of the TBL framework. Key components of TBL. Tasks. Tasks are activities or assignments that learners complete using the target language. This can include problem-solving activities, role plays, discussions, or any other meaningful activity that requires language use. Goal-oriented. Tasks have a clear goal or outcome. Learners work towards achieving a specific objective, and language is seen as a tool to accomplish the task. Authenticity. Tasks are designed to reflect real-world language use. This authenticity helps learners see the relevance of the language skills they are acquiring. Stages in TBL. Pre-task. Introduction to the topic or task, activation of prior knowledge, and preparation for the main task. This stage may include vocabulary and language input related to the task. Task cycle. The main stage where learners engage in the task. This can involve individual or group work, and the teacher monitors and supports as needed. Language focus. After the task is completed, there may be a language analysis or reflection stage where the teacher addresses specific language points that arose during the task. Post-task. Reflection on the task and language used. This stage allows learners to discuss their experiences, share insights, and consolidate their learning. The TBL framework is widely used in language education and aligns with communicative language teaching principles, emphasizing the importance of using language for meaningful communication. As a global lingua franca, English has bridged conversations and business deals across the world, with people of diverse linguistic backgrounds embracing it as a second or foreign language. For English teachers, especially those who aren't native speakers themselves, imparting correct pronunciation is a task that demands tactical skills, patience, and resourcefulness. English pronunciation is a minefield of exceptions and irregularities. Phonetic difficulties. The spelling rarely dictates pronunciation with reliable consistency. For instance, the O in through, though, thought, and tough represents different sounds, which is enough to confound any non-native speaker. Phonetic sounds in English. 44 phonemes, to be precise, including 24 consonant sounds and 20 vowel sounds. Speakers of languages with fewer phonetic sounds often find it challenging to hear and produce these nuances. Let's not forget the influence of the student's mother tongue, known as language transfer, where the phonetics of the native language can significantly affect the learning of English pronunciation. For instance, Japanese speakers often struggle with the English r and l sounds, while Arabic speakers might find difficulty with p and b because these phonetic distinctions might not exist in their native languages. Overcoming pronunciation challenges related to language transfer involves understanding the specific phonetic features of the student's native language and implementing targeting strategies to address them. Here are some suggestions. Diagnostic assessment. Conduct a diagnostic assessment to identify specific pronunciation challenges based on the phonetic features of the student's native language. Provide targeted training on English phonetics, focusing on sounds that are distinct from those in the student's native language. Use minimal pairs, words that differ by only one sound, to highlight and practice problematic sound distinctions. For example, pair r and l words for Japanese speakers. Use visual aids such as diagrams or videos to demonstrate the correct mouth and tongue positions for English sounds. This can help students associate the visual representation with the correct pronunciation. Demonstrate correct pronunciation and ask students to. Here are some ways non-native teachers can excel in teaching pronunciation. Lifelong learning. Continuous professional development. Non-native teachers can excel in teaching pronunciation by committing to lifelong learning. Stay informed about the latest research, teaching methodologies, and resources related to pronunciation instruction. Attend workshops and conferences. Participate in workshops, conferences, and training sessions focused on pronunciation. Engaging in professional development opportunities enhances teaching skills and introduces new strategies. Pronunciation training. Personal pronunciation improvement. Actively work on personal pronunciation skills. Engage in self-directed pronunciation training to identify and address any areas of improvement. This personal experience can provide valuable insights into effective teaching methods. Use pronunciation apps and resources. Explore pronunciation apps and online resources designed for language learners. Familiarize yourself with tools that offer interactive experiences, audio samples, and pronunciation guides. Modal pronunciations. Clear and modal pronunciations. Non-native teachers can be effective pronunciation models by demonstrating clear and accurate pronunciation. Practice and modal target sounds, words, and phrases for students, emphasizing correct mouth and tongue positions. Provide audio samples. Use audio samples, recordings, or authentic materials showcasing native-like pronunciation. This exposure helps students develop an ear for accurate pronunciation. Accent-neutral environment. Embrace diversity. Create an inclusive and diverse learning environment where various accents are acknowledged and celebrated. Emphasize the importance of clear communication rather than focusing on achieving a specific accent. Highlight global English varieties. Introduce students to different English varieties and accents spoken around the world. Encourage an appreciation for linguistic diversity with the English language. Interactive classroom activities. Engage in pronunciation games. Design interactive games and activities that make pronunciation practice enjoyable. Incorporate activities that involve peer interaction, such as pronunciation contests, role-playing, or collaborative tasks. Use technology. Leverage technology for interactive pronunciation exercises. Online platforms, pronunciation apps, and multimedia resources can enhance engagement and provide additional practice opportunities. Feedback and correction. Provide constructive feedback. Regularly offer constructive feedback on students' pronunciation. Focus on specific areas for improvement and suggest practical strategies for enhancement. Encourage peer feedback. Foster a supportive classroom culture where students provide feedback to each other. Peer evaluations can reinforce learning and create a collaborative learning environment. Thank you for watching.